Hi guys, quick update here for YouTube. So it's 12th of November. Hope everyone's doing great. So if you want to join the group, everything's here. This is the educational course followed by the group, the mini version, as well as the mortgage amortization course, which might very well be the best $30 most people have ever spent. We are going to get a part 2 to that. Probably going to get released now in Q1 of 2025. Crypto is moving in a very vicious way, and we are going to cover a meme coin, which we have covered quite a while ago now here, with the potential to make some really good gains. I mean, over 3 months ago, it's a shame it's only had 844 views. I mean, we've had some of the greatest calls here in the history of mankind. I mean, that is Nvidia to 2010 months ago, right? Before anyone was talking about Nvidia becoming the world's first $5 trillion company. Everything's here. So if you're not in the group, you're really missing out. So take advantage of the group by joining. Everything is here. And let's go into Mumu. So the target's 0.01, which even from here is a 16x move. Obviously, when we were buying all the way down here, it's more, you know, like, well, I mean, it was probably 100x. I mean, it was more of a 100x move from here. So right now it's moving with great velocity. Obviously, it's a Solana-based coin. So as Solana takes a breather, it's very normal for that money to rotate down into the mid caps and then the small caps. So all that being the 1, that's a 2, another 1, 2, and now in the third of a third of a third, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and then boom. Crash. So Mumu's going a lot higher here. It's moving with some great velocity. There's some really nice volume coming in the group. We actually I mean, we are long-term holders here, but we did add to the position here as well as here right before the big Solana pump. So really good to be in the group. You take advantage of all the calls early before anyone else, and you know, you can really take advantage of these coins, and there's no need to position size really high. When the volatility and the beta is this high, you can massively reduce your position size. So if 1 or 2 coins don't go so well, it doesn't matter. The one that does completely go off on one far outweighs those other coins. As you can see, inside candle failure, failed to get to its target, sets up a very powerful move to the first parent candle and then the second parent candle there. Now, if you were to have a look at CoinGecko, this is still not listed on any major exchange. Coinbase, Kraken, Binance is still not on there, so there's definitely more room to go. I've not checked the market cap today, but I do know it's probably, I would guess, around 300 million. I doubt it's much above that. So even the psychological $1 billion target, which is somewhere up in here, that would easily get hit. So as long as the crypto market is flowing, money's always going to flow from Bitcoin to the major pseudo altcoin like Solana to the majors, and then as those majors take a breather, which is very normal, you can't just go up 10% a day. It's very normal for that money to then filter down into the smaller assets, Mumu being one of them. So still hopeful on Mumu here. We think it's going much higher. Like I said, if you want to join the group, everything's there, and the educational courses are there too. We are doing a Black Friday discount. Discount is exactly that. It's 15% Black Friday, and that'll be available for the next couple of weeks only. I don't usually do a discount that high. It's only around this time of year. So that's only on the full version, by the way. And if you want to join the group, that is already discounted over a 3-month term. And if you want to pay via crypto, Solana only, and or Mumu, if you will, and you can pay via crypto. And we don't really offer year-long subscriptions. Well, we definitely don't offer lifetime subscriptions. Year-long, possibly, there might be some negotiable element to that if you want to just message me through the Facebook page. But usually it's 3 months. I like to keep people not tied in for longer than they want to, okay? We don't want people in the group who don't want to be there. So it's only for those who are serious traders and investors, have watched some of my recent videos, been following me for 6-7 years, or perhaps some of the newer people who have followed other YouTubers, perhaps not got anywhere, and you know, they've taken some of my courses or educational themes before. Perhaps they've also been group members before. You're more than welcome to come back. So everything's there in the group. This video wraps up Mumu. We think it's going much higher, and there's nothing more to be said. We've got much higher targets here. Like I said, we've got 0.01 all up in here. So this is definitely the mascot for the Solana meme coin rally. I don't think it's Ponke, and I don't think it's Bonky Kong either. And I don't think it's Wi-Fi with a hat. If I just to show you Wi-Fi with a hat. As you can see, these are all the coins which we cover. So I don't think it's this coin. Now, everyone's trying to find it. Everyone thinks it's this. And it's definitely not Bonky Kong, right? Bonky Kong's already had its day. In fact, that's not moving too bad there. If you convert it to the linear chart, it's not too bad. I mean, to me, it's already caused 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of like a truncation there, A, B, C. So to me, the Bonky Kong, it's just the market cap is too high. So which one would you rather be in? Which one would you rather be in? Let's just do a quick division here. So this is something that we often do, and as swing traders, we have to do, because we have to be in the best stock at the best time. If someone's made 15% and someone has made 10%, the individual who's made 10%, as far as I'm concerned, has lost 5%. We always have to be in the best coin at the best time. There's not really much there, to be honest. They're both actually performing pretty well. But if you were to compare Mumu to Wi-Fi, it's very clear which is the one which is outperforming. So, everyone's looking for the coin, but we've identified it months ago. So, I mean, there you go. I've divided it by the market cap there, but obviously let's just pull it into the actual USD price there. And there you go. So it's very clear it's outperformed. So the good thing about dividing things into another is that everything is ruled by the laws of volume, Elliott, and Phibbs, regardless. So when you multiply things into each other or you divide things into each other, that chart itself can be analyzed. So this in itself, I'm looking at that as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, potentially taking out this high here. So a long story short, the way I see it is Mumu, if nothing else, is going to outperform Wi-Fi dog with a hat by at least 58% between now and, let's say, the end of the year. So this is what a good swing trader does. And we always do this in the group. I mean, we cover so many things. I mean, this is just one watch list, just to give you an idea. I mean, just recently on China, we call the low and we call the top. We got out of China here, well above 112. Where do we think Baba's going? 50. So it's, that is an all-time low down there. That is a 2025 greatest buy of all time. That is my next future greatest call of all time. But there's no point saying Baba's going to 50 when it's already at 91. Okay, we're here to, fine, you might have missed the entry because we did have some unforeseen circumstances going on in the group, which kind of wrecked the entry. But once those circumstances were taken away after a few weeks, boom, we were out of there above 100. So had it not been for, never seen before one-time events, we all would have been in less than 80. But because of that, we were in more than 90. But still, regardless, as we know, we lose money on the entry, not on the exit. But if you mess up the entry due to unforeseen circumstances, at least make the exit perfect. We got out well above 110. And we said that the HS is now going towards 10K because all of that is a flat. Because either all of that was a huge move going up or it's a huge move going down. So as silly and as contradictory as that seems, actually it isn't. A good technician can completely flip on its head. All we know is a large amount of cores has been bought up or has been formed in the Hang Seng here. Either that was a gigantic rally in China or the biggest fake trap in China going. And as the US stock market hits 6K, going for 6666, China's going down. Obviously, we're approaching a major turning point in the US. China's all the way the hell down there. US is all the way down there. It makes absolutely perfect sense. This is how much we cover in the group. That's just one watch list. We've got EU banks in here. We've got everything's. Staples, SVB banks, we were here. This is all over YouTube, by the way. It's at 93. We were buying this on Zion at $8. Even Coinbase is at 300. We were buying it at 30 down here. So it's a very advantageous group as far as I'm concerned, regardless of what you are, beginner, intermediate, swing trader, long-term investor. I mean, obviously as swing traders, we've moved in and out of Coinbase multiple times, but for a long-term investor, boom, you've made a 10x there in 2 years. So There's great opportunity in the way this market is moving. The market has never moved like this. Post March 2020 crash lows, the market has gone absolutely berserk. All we're seeing now is 20% up, 20% down in every stock. And prior to this, it was more like 10% up, 10% down, or more like 5% up, 5% down. The volatility is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, just on Plug Power, we got a 15% move in 2 days. Such is the gamma situation driving this market. Just imagine you catching one of those moves. That's it. You've outperformed a savings account. Annualized compounded savings account interest rate over 3 years, you've outperformed in 2 days. So the stock market has great advantage for those who are watching things carefully and those who can navigate through the volatility. Because when you see things up 20% up, and then the next thing you know, you see something else and 20% down, you don't know what's going on. You need someone to just navigate through that vicious storm, as it were. But anyway, let's just wrap up with Mumu. But those are just some of the calls that we see. Many of the calls, frankly, they don't even make YouTube because there's just too much to cover on the group. You know, we're doing Mondays and Thursdays videos. So like the Alibaba thing, you know, we just don't have the time to ever mention it on here. You know, I might have mentioned it vaguely in one of these recent updates, but if you're not subscribed or you've got your notifications on or you're part of the group, you're going to have missed the call. You know, if you're, you know, there's plenty of people. I mean, it was kind of wasting time here going over Alibaba, but I know plenty of people who would argue, mate, fundamentally, it's valued very well, and I know that they got in below 100. They actually got a really good entry, even better than you could argue ourselves in the group, once again due to unforeseen circumstances. But we got out well above 100. In fact, it was at 115. It's now at 91. So where's it going? Right to their entry point. So that's the thing. Alibaba's not going to stop here. It's not going to stop till it's shaken out everyone who went long basically 3 months ago. Where are they likely to put their stops? Here, here, and here. Well, if it gets that low, it's obviously taking out this low. And then you zoom out, you think, actually, hold on a minute. Baba has come all the way from 320. Why did it not take out the all-time low? Why did it not take out the all-time? That's when I knew we have to be very careful with this China move. This was a couple of months ago now, whilst it was in this little phase. I was like, that's very odd. When something that should happen doesn't happen, you have to be very careful. That means it's coming back down for this low, which means this must be a B wave, X wave, or a wave 4. It doesn't matter. It's some kind of corrective BS, which basically implies whatever the trend was going in is now going to prevail. So what are we looking at? A gigantic, as far as I'm concerned, buying opportunity come Q1 in China. At the same time, we got Inauguration Day, S&P completely going berserk. What would you rather buy? I mean, Microsoft hasn't made a new high, has it? Neither has Apple. It's just Nvidia going to exactly where I said it was going to go 10 years before everyone else. I mean, 10 months is a very long time. It was at 30 10 months ago, post-stock split. So this is how we can always forecast what the next trade. So we already know where Baba's going. But, you know, there's a lot of panic yet in Baba. And besides, let's be honest, you know, a couple of Octobers ago, there was nowhere near enough bearishness here. So what is the pattern that we're looking at? Well, it's the S-curve. It's this. It has to go underneath, shake everyone out, basically wipe out everyone. Has to wipe out everyone who's held Alibaba since the beginning of the IPO. Then it has to reclaim, and then boom. Is it going 50 to 400? Yes. And then obviously at the same time, via proxy, obviously I'm doing this very, very quick, but this is the way we navigate in the group. You know, we are rapid. These are 30, 45 minute, maybe 55 minute videos, but we don't mess around with too much Elliott, too much technical analysis, because I'm doing that, albeit on a subconscious level. If I was here to tell you the exact Elliott wave count, it would literally be 3 hours just on Alibaba. That's the waste of everyone's time. Where's it going to go? By what point? Boom. Let's go with it. But just to follow that thought process, once again, everything looks like a flat. So where is FXI going? Once again, isn't it strange? It got so close, and that's a double bottom. Any double bottom in any oversold market is a buy due to the fact the auction could not get complete. The shorts couldn't get paid. The inventory was too oversold. So there's an oversold bounce. What does an oversold bounce mean? It weakens the market. A short squeeze weakens the market. Once again, many people don't know that because they've not taken the education. This is you gotta go through the education. Everything's there. Why does it weaken a market? Because you're buying to close. Obviously, everyone's been short China the last 3 years. Fine. They're not buying to open. There's a huge difference. Buying to open would be new initiative trading. Buying to close is responding. You're responding to what? The short that you opened here. Either way, you're buying to close. You're then out of the market. Sellers then take over. A long story short, where's FXI going to go? 20. Is that an all-time buy? Yes. That would be the answer. Once again, just to give you an idea of the thought process, I'm doing this on a very quick subconscious level. And you have to be quick in this market. We've seen what's happened with Plug Power. Even SMCI is a recent one. If you want the update on that, come and join the group. Most of them go fine. Some of them don't go so well. Obviously, there are hedging methods. And, we do position size appropriately too. But this is the way you got to move in this market. This is a very tricky, volatile market. We're approaching the end of a major, grand super cycle here in the US, and no one said it was going to be easy. But frankly, for a swing trader, the market is perfect. The VIX, it's quite funny actually. I bet it's at 15 or something. Yeah, it's at 15. That is just ridiculous. The real VIX, just like the inflation's like 2%. The real inflation's like 15% or something crazy. This is not the real VIX. If you include the gamma and the way things are moving because of the options, short dated and everything else, zero dated, the real VIX is probably 20, to be honest. So this is giving you a very poor number for the VIX. This is a false reading, basically. The real VIX is like 20. So you got to take this with a pinch of salt. Well, when you account for the gamma and what the options are doing and the way the market's moving, due to the undercover bond collapse, because yields are going to go to 10% next year or the year after, the real VIX is about 19 to 25, and that historically, prior to 2022, that's been the time to make the most amount of money. Most people can make a hell of a lot of money with a VIX from 18 on the top side, 25. That is a perfect level of volatility for a swing trader where you're managing both time, emotion, and capital. Is perfect. So the real VIX, as far as I'm concerned, is within that sweet spot. Because historically, a VIX of 15, you couldn't really make a lot of money. But now we have to account for the gamma. So you've got to multiply that number by 30, 40%. That gets you within that sweet spot. When the VIX is too low, historically or otherwise, you can't make any money. And when the VIX is too high, it's crazy. It's way too volatile. It's not a very healthy market. And that would be above 25. So obviously in this environment, a VIX of 25 really means a VIX of 30, as we have established. So the VIX that you see there is giving us a very false reading on the actual moves that are going on undercover within these markets. Regularly, we are seeing stocks up 20, 30, 40% out of nowhere. And obviously, we've been long riot for quite some time, been shaving off into it, mind you. And once again, this was actually on YouTube. Just here recently, it was in one of these, I forget where it was, but we were covering it in the group first, and we said, look, if crypto goes off on one towards 100k, where do you think it's going to go? 40. And what was the first target? 16, which is probably where it's just stalled. And why is it 16? Because of the midline pitchfork. Fine, I've not got that on exactly, but you get the point. It's stalled exactly where it should stall. Does that mean it's going to do this? I think that's unlikely. Rotate, maybe for a week or so. Not even a week, mind you, maybe just a couple of days. Next thing you know, it's going towards here. So it's very simple when you know the patterns and when you've got someone who can lead you through the volatility that we're seeing here. Like I said, I don't show it on YouTube, but we cover a hell of a lot of things here. These are all full of 20, 30 stocks, most of them. I mean, you can see how many symbols there are. So, we're going through it. Fine, there might be some duplicates here and there, but we're covering so many things. Recently we've covered gold, silver, which I know a lot of people are holding gold in either the paper form or the physical. So everything's there for those who are interested. Anyway, so we'll finish up with Mumu then. So let's just summarize. Obviously, it is high risk. It is a meme coin. And we got, we have gathered that the best case scenario, like I said, a 1 2 1 2, and I was just gearing up for a 3. I think some Polo as well. On Polo, you can actually see it a little bit better here. If I just pull up Polo here on the, it's more of a consolidation here. You can really see the tightness there off the consolidation. I mean, it's even worse than it is on MEXC. So, that is your failure. Inside candle, inside. That may as well be an inside candle, although that is inside candle and then, failure there. But it's failing to go below the low. So it sets up a very powerful move here, followed by here. Because everyone's gone short on that candle expecting 0.33, 4 noughts and then a 3. But obviously that would be the wrong play, wouldn't it? Because crypto is looking very bullish. Just now I'm seeing Rocket Lab up, 16%. So these are not normal moves here. You have to know how to navigate through the volatility. So if you want to join the group, everything's there. Anyway, that's the update for Mumu, and I'll catch you guys soon.